Let's get right into it. No. 8. The floor cleaner you gargle. Imagine gargling with the same stuff people once used to mop their floors. That's exactly what you're doing when you use Listerine. Back in 1879, a chemist named Joseph Lawrence created this powerful antiseptic. He named it after Sir Joseph Lister, who was basically the rock star of surgical cleanliness at the time. But initially they had no idea what to do with it, so they started marketing it for literally everything. It was a splash for cuts, a cleaner for dirty floors, a deodorant for sweaty armpits. They even claimed it could cure dandruff and other intimate problems. It's like they were playing product roulette with this stuff. But then someone had a brilliant idea. They invented halitosis, a fancy medical term for bad breath. Suddenly everyone was terrified of having bad breath without knowing it, and just like that, a floor cleaner became the thing you swish around in your mouth every morning. Next time you're gargling away, remember you're basically rinsing your mouth with something that was once considered good enough to clean your bathroom floor. Number 7. The devil's own pocket. Firesticks. Imagine holding something in your pocket that glows an eerie green. In the dark in the 1800s, people carried matches that literally gave off a ghostly light. These weren't regular matches. They were made with white phosphorus, a substance so weird it seemed magical. The workers who made these matches, especially the dippers who coated the sticks, paid a horrible price. White phosphorus doesn't just glow, it's also super toxic. The fumes would seep into their bodies, especially their jaws. Their teeth would start falling out, and their jaw bones would literally rot away. Their damaged bones would actually glow in the dark. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing your own jaw giving off a faint green light. Some workers had to have parts of their jaws surgically removed just to stop the spread. They literally carried around tiny sticks of poison that could burst into flame at the slightest touch. Think about that next time you strike a modern match. That simple action used to cost people their faces. Eventually, people realized carrying these toxic, glowing sticks wasn't the best idea. By the early 1900s, they switched to safer materials. But for decades, people literally kept a piece of the devil's chemistry set in their pockets. Number 6. The human hamster wheel of punishment. In 1818, a British engineer named Sir William Cubitt invented a giant hamster wheel for humans. It was a massive wooden cylinder with steps all around it, an endless staircase to nowhere. Prisoners were locked into individual compartments along this wheel, unable to even talk to each other. They had to keep climbing for 6 hours, every single day, 15 minutes at a time with tiny breaks. And the wheel didn't actually do anything useful. It could have been used to grind grain or pump water, but most of the time it just spun. It was designed to be pointless work that would break people's spirits. The device spread to prisons across Britain, Ireland, Australia, and America. Many prisoners developed serious health problems from the endless climbing, hernias, lung damage, and other injuries that could last a lifetime. Charles Dickens even wrote about these wheels in his books, using them as symbols of the cruel prison system. These wheels were finally banned when people realized torture wasn't the best way to rehabilitate prisoners. Next time you're on a treadmill, just remember, at least you can step off when you want to. No. 5. The knockout gas party tricks. At fancy Victorian parties in the 1800s, instead of just dancing and drinking tea, people were inhaling mysterious vapors for fun. These were gas parties, where the entertainment wasn't music, but mind-altering chemicals. Rich folks would gather in theaters to watch volunteers inhale substances like ether and nitrous oxide. The results were pure chaos. People would burst into uncontrollable laughter, dance like nobody's watching, or just pass out cold on the floor. These party tricks were actually accidental scientific experiments. Sometimes the volunteers would hurt themselves while high on these gases, but wouldn't feel a thing. This caught the attention of some very observant doctors in the crowd. The gases themselves were pretty dangerous. Ether was highly flammable, and more than a few parties ended with singed eyebrows. Or worse, people would stumble around a room full of oil lamps while completely out of it. They'd use fancy glass globes to dispense the vapors, like a Victorian version of a fog machine. But instead of creating a cool atmosphere, it would knock people unconscious. these recreational gas sessions eventually led to one of medicine's biggest breakthroughs. Those same substances that made Victorian party-goers act silly would later become the first surgical anesthetic.